This episode is brought to you by Michigan Economic Development Corporation. In Michigan, you can have both a rewarding career and a quality lifestyle, with plentiful career opportunities in world-changing, innovating industries, from electric vehicles to clean energy to biotech, with room for advancement no matter where you are in your career. Plus, Michigan offers a welcoming, beautiful, affordable, and inclusive community for all. Live your best life. You can in Michigan. Visit themichiganlife.org.
Welcome to the Instagram stories for Monday, September 20th. It's Monday, and you know what we do on Mondays.
Well, it's been quite the week. Everything from the Met to podcasts with Peter Kafka on Recode to Wall Street Journal articles. So I assume there's lots of questions. Please ask them here if you've got them. I'll do my best to answer them.
Every week on Mondays, we review what head of Instagram Adam Mosseri shared on his Ask Me Anything on Friday. This week it was a crazy week last week. A lot of things happened. I did my best to share all the insights from a fair point of view as best I could, but the Wall Street Journal articles were coming fast and furious. Adam Mosseri did that interview on the Recode podcast, which I talked about on Friday. I hope you went back and listened to the whole episode because he dove right into that. Here's some of that. The question, IG is so toxic. How do you sleep at night? Here's his answer.
I don't think Instagram is toxic. I think we do an immense amount of good. We've helped connect people with their loved ones, give voice to those who have been historically marginalized, been a place for creatives to make a living. But yes, I worry about the downsides, and so I spend a lot of time stressed about and working on that as well.
I don't know that I really love that answer. Instagram is all about making things look perfect, especially in the feed, and that's a large portion of where these issues stem from. On the Recode podcast that I played a clip of last week, Adam Mosseri likened the social media industry to the car industry, saying that although social media can be dangerous, cars can also be dangerous. That's not really a great illustration though, because cars are regulated. You have to get a driver's license, for instance. You have to pay car insurance. You have to be a certain age to drive a car. If you've been drinking and you drive, there are penalties. Somebody asked him if he would still use that illustration again if he was answering this question for a second time. Here's what he said.
I also want to quickly say I do know that the car industry is heavily regulated. That's actually why I brought it up, because I think that regulation is important for social media and for the internet more broadly, and that we're going to need to figure out how to move more quickly than we have in the past in other industries. The car analogy was far from perfect, but I don't know that I have a better one, if I'm honest. I could do the printing press, which is pretty good, but it's hundreds of years old. The telephone, maybe too close to home. So if I could go back, I probably would just have been more careful with my wording to avoid getting quoted.
Okay, let's move on to another topic. The question, what are you doing against spam bots? Personally, I get comments from spam bots all the time. It seems to be with specific hashtags that they pick up on, but narrowing it down to figure out which hashtag it is that the spam bots are jumping onto is way too annoying, because if you're using 30 hashtags, are you going to really make a list and use them one by one on different posts until you figure out which one's the problem hashtag? That is so much work. Anyway, here's his answer.
We do our best to identify and remove bots, looking at things like how often you post, how frequently, do you oversleep at night? Is there a ton of activity coming from the same IP address or the same old version of Instagram? But lots of room to improve, so we're going to continue to work on it.
Okay, next question. Why can't I share posts to my story after updating my Instagram? What's the real reason they're asking this question? I don't get as many views on my feed posts as I do on my story, so this is how I fix that problem. Here's his answer.
We're currently testing moving reshares to a sticker, because though a lot of people want to share reshares or posts from feed to stories, less people are interested in seeing them, so that's attention.
There's so many times I scratch my head wondering why a post that I might share on my feed gets 50 likes and a story that does really well will get 350 views. I haven't seemed to been able to wrap my mind around that one, and if anyone knows the answer, please share it with me. And the last question we're going to talk about, why do my videos get cut entirely within 15 seconds? It just gets dissected into several 5-second clips before. This is an incomplete question. Adam Mosseri interprets this as being a stories question, which I think I agree with. Here's his answer.
Videos should only be cut into 15 segments in stories, because stories are supposed to be bite-sized and snackable. If you post to feed, for instance, you should be able to post for longer than 15 seconds.
Okay, that's it for today's show. I want to give a huge shout out to Kikama808, who said that my show is by far the best Instagram podcast for them. They said that I'm open-minded to learning more and sharing knowledge by interviewing guests who know more than I do, and I get to learn by listening to their conversations, and that they save all the podcasts after they listen. Thank you so much for that review. If you could leave me a review, I would really appreciate it. You can go on Apple Music or Amazon, wherever you listen to the show. If you are going to leave a negative review, I would appreciate maybe just send me a message first. Tell me what you want me to fix, and then I'll fix it. That would be the best way to do it. Thanks for listening, and come back tomorrow for more Instagram news.